Hey, what's going on, everyone? Listen, we are on day 3. You should be really, really proud of yourself if you have made it to day 3. That's a big accomplishment. Seriously, give yourself a round of applause. That's amazing. I know this is not going to be a long video at all. Kind of just wanted to do like a check-in to see how you guys are feeling, to see if you decided to stop today for your fast, or if you're going to continue to go the whole 7 days. And also just kind of give you some words of encouragement on how you should be feeling, and just see if you did like your prayer, and understanding what works for your body and what your body should be feeling around day 3. So I don't have any scriptures that I'm going to do today, but I will be using scriptures tomorrow to keep us going. I just wanted to do like a check-in again, and to just give some encouragement. So I know for me, day 3, I can kind of identify those negative thoughts and I can rebuke them. Mm, that's so important for me, because I don't want to be thinking negative. And especially, we got to recognize when you're fasting, you can recognize where those negative thoughts have been taken over, because a lot of us worry, oh, I'm not going to get this blessing. I'm not going to receive it. God not going to come through for me. So it's like those self-sabotaging thoughts kind of go away, because you're clear, you've been praying, you've been fasting, and if you watch my video on day 2, I give a more breakdown of the things that you should be praying for during your fast. And of course, I'll give more tips on other things that you can pray for as well. But I think it's so important to identify small things that you can start praying for while you're fasting. So, um, yeah, just recognizing those negative thoughts, rebuking them. Don't allow them to shimmer in your mind. Don't sit on them. Don't indulge in them. Rebuke them. Literally rebuke them. Because on day 3, you'll start noticing, you know, things about yourself and about your body. Of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are hungry. A lot of you are hungry. You probably feel fatigue. You probably feel tired. You probably feel bored, because it does get boring not eating things, because you recognize like, oh, around this time I'll be in the refrigerator snacking, or I'll be in the cabinet just grabbing anything, eating whatever it is that I want. So you kind of just really identify those small little habits that you have cleaned on to, that you can't do right now because you're fasting, because you're giving all of yourself to God. You're putting your trust into God. You're putting your you're putting away your wants for your needs. Because you may want something to eat, but you need to fast because you have blessings and a breakthrough coming. Like, I tell myself that my daughter cooked yesterday and it was smelling so good. But I'm so proud of myself. I did not eat any of it. And plus I was on live doing my podcast for about 2 hours. So that definitely was a great distraction, to not allow myself to just start again just snacking and just eating late at night. So it really just, I recognize that I wanted it, but I also recognize that I want this more. I'm like, yeah, this this is going to be delicious, but I want the breakthrough. I want to be strong enough to say I survived that. I want the breakthrough. I want what God has in store for me. I want to be obedient more, right? I want this more. So, just identifying where the enemy has come in and made you think that you can't control your urges, or you can't control your temptation, because you do have the power. And the more you recognize that the power is within you, then only then can you conquer this journey of fasting and making it a habit in your life. It's good to cleanse. It's good. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that cleanse in my family, but I think that, I take my health journey um a lot more serious because I recognize that my family has a lot of health issues. And when I'm seeing them in and out of the hospital, I'm like, man, I don't want to be like that. I really don't. I don't want to be so so undisciplined to the point that I let food take over. So undisciplined to the point where I can't say no to a piece of cake or I can't say no to cookies, which is why I said no to going somewhere that I know I should not put myself in right now. So it's just a discipline of saying no to certain places too. Cookouts, birthdays, when we're trying to fast during the holiday, it's okay. It's going to be leftovers the next day. So, I again just want to check in on y'all, see how you're doing, and leave your comments below how you're feeling, the type of fast you decided to go on, what that looks like for you, how it's going for you, of course, because remember, we're doing this as a community to help each other, to uplift each other, to stay afloat, and to remind you that God will come through. He will. He will. He will. He will. There's no doubt in my mind that God is not going to come through for you if you're being consistent during these 7 days. And I know a lot of people like, oh, but what if I mess up? It's okay. If you mess up, start over. Start over from day one video and keep going. See, this is the thing that we forget. If you keep messing up, you have to recognize that you have to keep starting over. So eventually you're going to get tired of starting over. You're like, man, I done started over 10 times this week. Let me just do this thing, right? Don't give up though. Don't give up. Like, don't keep giving up. Don't keep giving in. So recognize that, okay, I can start over, but I shouldn't want to start over too many times. I should want to be clear. I should want to have a clear mind, because again, when we're looking at blessings being unfolded, we do have to have a clear mind, because we need to know where we need to be when this blessing happens, right? You don't want to be somewhere you're not supposed to be, and then you can't get to your finish line because you done put yourself in an environment because you're listening to everything else but what God told you to do. You don't want to be like that. So fasting really helps hear your instructions and help him cleanse you from things that you've been holding on. And it's not just food, it's trauma, it's past relationships, um, is demonic energies and monitoring spirits that we have around us. It's a lot of things that God can do during your fast that's going to be so impactful to bringing in your blessing. Don't under we was just on live talking about this yesterday. Don't put God in a box. You know, this this thing is bigger than what you're thinking right now. It's bigger than all of that. It's bigger than food. It's bigger than the trauma. It's bigger than the blessing. There's so much more in store that comes behind this. So I want you to recognize that you're not just doing it for the blessing. You're doing it because, one, you're increasing your relationship with God. Two, the blessing is definitely important to get, but knowing yourself more and just being clear, is it should be nothing above that. It should be nothing above wanting to just be clear, praying, pouring your heart out, having a conversation. I've had someone ask me, how do I pray? Praying is just having a conversation with God. Like I told him today, like, I get real tired of my daughter and her attitude. Can you please help me take care of her? I get tired because as a mom that's positive, you get tired of a child who's negative. So I'm like, God, please help me raise this child because I be on the earth. I be on the edge sometimes. So it's just conversations like that where you could just pour out your heart and you could just say, all right, I'm weak today. I'm not feeling good. Because some of us may feel weak. And for me, earlier, I was feeling a bit weak. But I still got up, cleaned up, still did the podcast because I know some people are looking forward to it. I didn't put it out as early as I wanted to, kind of when I had like the time. I slept in today. So getting rest is so important during your fast because you're resting for your blessing. Remember that. You're resting for the blessing because again, we don't ask for small stuff. We ask for big things and we have to rest. We have to allow ourselves the rest in order for this thing to come through. You can't be busy, 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 busy where you're not praying and you get caught up in day-to-day life and you don't have those conversations. So you have to allow yourself to rest. That's so important. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I kind of just want to cover before I just jump off? Um I do have a lot of stuff that I need to get done today. And because I allow myself the rest, I kind of just have to do it. So I can't think of anything else. But, if the Holy Spirit allows me to say anything else, I would definitely come back on and continue a part two just in case I forget anything or add to this video before I edit it. But I just want you to know that, recognize the signs of your body, recognize that um, I'm sorry, recognize what you are fasting for and allow yourself to have that rest and recognize the bigger why in all of this, the bigger picture in all of this. Again, it's not just about the blessing, but it's about being prepared for what it is that you ask for. And sometimes being prepared means allowing yourself to do the things that you didn't want to do in order to receive it. Because I don't want to make it seem like the blessing is not important. The blessing is important to us, but it shouldn't be above God. You get me? Like, I want my blessing, which is why I'm doing this, but I also want God just as much because he's going to drive me into the blessing. He's going to give me the courage to be able to do this while we're waiting on the blessing. And plus it's 7 days. Give yourself 7 days. If you're listening to this and you haven't even started today, give yourself tomorrow. Give yourself like, look, I'm gonna wait till Sunday and I'm gonna start Monday, and then you just go back and you just look at the videos. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, I didn't want to make this too long. Oh, but tomorrow we're gonna have some good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have some good notes. So be ready for me tomorrow. Be ready for me because I'm gonna really pour into y'all some good scriptures. And just some overall great advice on how we can continue to move forward for the rest of these few days. Okay. All right. So I love y'all and have a wonderful day.